Hey everyone, it's DOS time, and this time around we are continuing Alter Ego. That's right, Alter Ego, and we are in like part 12 at this point. I mean, like when we look over at some of our side stuff, I mean, we have like, we are 59 years old and 10. Knows how long it um look, look at our total physical ability. We are completely destroyed health-wise. I mean, we've had like diabetes and all kinds of crazy stuff at this point. No one trusts us, but we have a lot of happiness. We may be a terrible person a lot of the time, but we're confident, we're expressive, and we're happy. Guess it's not all that bad in this world, is it? We have a ton of acquisitions, though. I own a sailboat, a stereo, sports cars, VCRs, 512K computer. You have that? No one on this planet, like only the richest of the rich, can afford a 512K computer with hard disk. Exactly, with hard disk. You heard me right. And we have an electronic 35mm camera. A little bit of money. Not a whole lot of extra money, but we're doing pretty good for ourselves. Let's continue on from where we left off last time. Well, apparently you must be employed. You may have, oh yeah, that's right, because we don't have a job right now, because no one will hire us, because we're old and decrepit, and, but we can't really retire. No, I don't want that one. No. We already, yeah, I was gonna say, I already live together. I want to, no. There we go. Let's see if we can get a job. Training for a future career. Oh, we don't have qualifications. That's right, because we're old. Full-time job. Yeah, let's go for a business. Like, at this point in the game, though, we cannot, like, get any job whatsoever. I mean, service delivery, can't do it. Can't do, physical labor. We're old. Like, we literally can do nothing at this point in our lives. I have a striking suspicion we will not be living too much longer. You've seen your friend John and his wife Marcia socially for a long time. They have a very peculiar relationship. Marcia insists on controlling every aspect of John's life. One day, when you are talking to John, he confesses that about 3 years ago he began seeing another woman. One who is beautiful, kind, gentle, and loving. He has been thinking about leaving Marcia for his other woman, but is unsure if he can. Comfortable, give him advice. What kind of advice are you going to give him? See a marriage counselor. Continue the affair, divorce Marcia and marry the other woman. Divorce Marcia and marry neither one. Go with the other woman. Very simple advice, just like that. Pick up a whole relationship, a whole life, a transfer to another. Yeah, exactly, that's what you gotta do. You just gotta throw everything in the fire and start new. Think about what phase of life you are in now. Chances are John and Marcia have been together for 20 years or more. For a guy who's used to getting structure and direction from a person like Marcia, this kind of move would be terrifying. I don't care. Do it. Be a man. Come on, you gotta be a man. Your intentions are good. You want to see John happier than he is now. The fact is, regardless of how a relationship looks to outsiders, when two people stay together, they usually have complementary sets of needs. Believe it or not, he may actually desire a woman who is domineering as Marcia. Your advice to him is logical, but people often do not act that way. As a result, John's what? I'm sorry. I'm not even going to try right now. Too tired at this point. Turns to anger, which he directs at you for butting into his life. You asked me, asshole. You asked me what you wanted me to do for you. You asked if you should leave your stupid wife. I said you should, and now you're throwing everything at me. You have just passed through a middle adulthood. Your family life is good. During this phase of life, your body doesn't always respond the way your mind would like it to. A sore back after a hard day's work, or sore feet and legs after a long walk are not uncommon. In general, you are not very healthy. Fortunately, you don't have to worry about drugs or alcohol ruining your health, because we're old. No one cares if we die. Socially, you're doing fine. I hope that you and Marion are enjoying your lives together. Yeah, she's a prude. Now, regarding your emotional personality development, it looks like you never have gotten over your tendency to be untrustworthy. You've never lost that youthful zest for life, have you? Unfortunately, your walks on the wild side have gotten you into more than one spot of trouble. You seem to have negotiated your midlife crisis without becoming depressed. You can be sensible and understanding, usually cool, calm, and collected. People see you as an extremely wise person. They rely on you often for advice. Yeah, and they ask me about if they should leave their wife, and then they get pissed at me. So, you know what? Being wise really isn't that useful, is it? And are pleased with the results that they get from it. No, they don't. Clearly, they are not pleased from the results they get from me. The next phase of life is full of mixed blessings. You may feel old and lonely some days, and cheerful and strong others. Our society certainly has its share of prejudices against the older folks, but you can have rich and rewarding experiences despite this. You will have your chance to thumb your nose at people who think you are too old to live it up a little. After all, you were doing most of these things and enjoying them long before these people were toilet trained. Welcome to old age. It is not white hair that engenders wisdom. And here we go. Now, I mean, we had our kids. Like, how old is my kids at this point? You awake one morning, and in the confusion of being still in the days you remember, this is Anne's wedding day. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, so Anne, I don't know what happened to Dick yet, but Anne's getting married. Okay, that's cool. You hurry to get ready, making sure all the last-minute arrangements are made. Ceremony is truly heartwarming. My children do grow up fast. As you walk your beautiful daughter down the aisle, you can see the nods of approval and hear the chatter of relatives whispering their delight at this happy occasion. A few more steps and she'll be gone forever. For a moment, you are filled with overwhelming sadness. Suddenly, you begin to think about the pattering of little feet running around the house again. A whole new generation of blessings to come. You say the word grandpa to yourself, not thinking about the age associated with it. Just 2 words: grand and father. Aw, wasn't that touching? Now, did my other son, Dick, screw up? You know, what happened to Dick? You wake one morning to realize it's Dick's wedding. It's like, okay, I guess that's the only thing. You walk your handsome son, walk down the aisle, your chest swells with pride. A few more seconds, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, just with Dick. Can I do something other than them getting married? I just want to see if we can, There are none of these experiences that you can do right now. Please try again later. I have a feeling we're not going to have that opportunity. Okay, a young man walks up to you in the park and looks you square in the eye. Have you got a dime, he says. Generous, sure, give him a dime. You reach down in your pocket and slowly sort through your loose change. It's getting hard to discriminate the sizes and shapes of coins these days. You finally find one that feels like a dime. You reach your hand in your pocket, who looks at you quizzically. This time, the time, he keeps saying. Your hearing is beginning to go. Ah, okay, got it. Now I got it. Okay, yeah, okay, I had the thing. I was like, what? What the f*** is you talking about? Welcome to the marriage block. Yeah, I just want to have an experience with my wife, because we're old. Marion would like to invite some old friends from other side of the country. Bill and Marcia for a visit. Marcia is a sweet person. God, I can't read tonight. Always has been. Bill is a competitive, materialistic so-and-so who is tolerable in small doses, but becomes very difficult to stand. Marion has been hoping to see Marcia for quite some time and won't really be disappointed if you didn't extend an invitation for a few days. What will you do? And would really be disappointed. Gosh, can I read? Yeah, invite him over. Before they even step out of the car, you can hear Bill's big mouth. How you doing there, old fella? Getting a bit under the pot there? He pats you on the belly. You look like you're about to deliver a litter of pups. Litter of pups. Get it? Yeah, punch to the face is coming very soon for you, Bill. After Bill and Marcia get settled in, Bill goes on to tell you about his boat, his new sports car, his portable video recorder, and his local poker championship. By the way, Scooter, you don't know where he digs these names up from. Think you want to mess with the old Grand Master himself? Play him in a game of poker, yep. On the first deal, you are dealt 3 kings, a jack, and a deuce. He draws only 1 card with a smirk on his face. He says, piece of cake, buddy, piece of cake. Draw 1 card. You pick up a second jack. You now have a full house. Bill says you wouldn't care to make a little wager on the outcome of this hand, now would you? Oh, would you, sport? Let's say a cool grand. That is, if you can afford it. Yeah, we'll put the grand up. After much melodrama, Bill reveals his hand. A full house, 3 queens and 2 jacks. Ha ha ha! Can't hustle the hustler, the champ, the king of kings. Ha ha! You quietly turn over your hand, showing him your winning hand. He turns white and says, About that $1,000, we were kidding, right? Make him pay. He writes you out a check and promptly develops a mysterious illness. He says it's from your wife's cooking. He has to go back home early. P.S. The check bounces. Of course it does. Asshole. Screw him. Screw everybody. I'm old. The thought occurs to you that it might be economically practical and convenient to putter around town on a small motorcycle. Oh yeah, this sounds like a brilliant idea. Sure, let's get a motorcycle. Everyone thinks you are a bit off your rocker, but you think it's really great. On the way to the market one day, you notice that there is a flat stretch of open road just waiting for you to tear up. Will ya? Twist the throttle to max? Be safe. Yeah, let's crash into people. Vroom! Speedometer goes 40, 50, 60. All of a sudden, the big old log looms directly in your path. What will you do? Try to jump the log. Oh, yeah, this is going to turn out well. Come on, fractured skull. You yank up on the handlebars of the motorcycle and give it a full acceleration. The front wheel lightly touches the log, and you begin to ascend skyward. The motorcycle lands back on the road with a loud thump. You made it. Holy crap, we didn't die. A group of men are getting together and forming a softball league called the Senior Sluggers. In order to play in this league, you have to be 65 or older. The idea seems like a worthwhile way of getting exercise. Excited. Join the softball team. Okay, the rules of being in this league are the follows. 1, no sliding. 2, underhand pitching only. 3, every player in the league must dress in full uniform for every scheduled game. What position would you like to play? My knees are probably gone. We're going to play pitcher. That's the spirit. You try out for the position and make the starting team. In the 9th inning, a high pop fly is hit directly to you. You thrust out your glove and attempt to field the ball. The excitement of play fills your whole body. The ball thunks solidly into the glove, knocking you off balance. You have made the play. The sides are retired. No pun intended. No pun intended there, Grandpa. You are the team's MVP. Yeah, couldn't do any sports other than being old, but yeah, I'm the number 1 on the senior circuit in baseball. You've been thinking about calling up an old friend for a get-together. Perhaps you can discuss old times and have a few laughs. Sure, give him a call. You hum for his number a while, then dial it carefully. It is so hard to see those small numbers sometimes. It's a phone. Even if old, you don't even need to read the numbers if you know what a phone looks like. You must be really gone at this point. The voice on the other end sounds foreign. For a moment, you wonder what it could probably be a relative. When you ask for your friend, there's a long pause. That gentleman passed on 4 years ago. He says, I'm sorry, by now news like this is becoming routine. You spend the morning contemplating your own end. You can become very depressed. Pick yourself up. Sure, let's pick ourselves up. This is difficult, but in this phase of life, very necessary. You are a survival-oriented individual. It is easy to give into the depression and despair in this phase of life. Your positive attitude will keep you healthy and vital. Sure it will. Let's do this one. It's a beautiful sunny day. There's a lot of outside work that needs to be done. Tired and irritable. Pay a child to do it. Exactly. I can understand why you wouldn't want to strain yourself. On the other hand, slowing down too much is likely to promote feelings of uselessness in older adults. You can do a little of the work with the teenagers, stay inside and take a nap. We'll do a little work, and then I'll cut my hand off or something. That's a nice alternative. The young boy that helps you is bright and strong. You remember being much the same way when you were that age. It's an enjoyable day. Everyone happy. On occasion, you must rely on a public bus to get you to and from places you want to go. Today's bus is particularly crowded, and you have to stand. You find an open area towards the back of the bus, where there is room to grasp a strong steel pole that extends from the floor to the bus ceiling. Your fingers wrap around the pole tightly. A fall could mean a broken hip or worse. As the bus starts to move, the shock of the gentle bumps is absorbed by your feet, knees, and legs. There is some discomfort as a result. You lean forward slightly so that you can take some of the pressure off of your lower body. Your back begins to ache. A little girl with chestnut-colored hair and freckles, about 8 years old, has been watching you wide-eyed for the past 5 minutes. Not long ago, her mother whispered something in her ears, to which she looked up at her, frightened, and shook her head no. After watching you a bit longer, she gets up from her seat, brushes it off with her tiny hand, and steps aside, motioning for you to sit down. Grateful. Sure. Yeah. You realize that accepting the seat is a sign of neither personal nor emotional weakness. It's a simple fact of life. This child is young and in many ways stronger than you. She doesn't need the seat. As you sit, the relief spreads rapidly through your body. Though soon your joints will begin to stiffen in the seated position, the child is looking at you with great relief in their face. Okay, let's do one more for this one. It's time for a medical checkup. Great, so we'll get some really bad news before the end of this episode. Anxious. Go to the doctor. Sure, this will go real good. At this age, you never know what the doctor is going to tell you about yourself. The young doctor handles you gently. Perhaps he senses some nervousness. He asks you if you have any complaints these days. You can complain about your arms and legs, complain about shortness of breath, complain about nothing in particular. Your health isn't all terrific. You suffer nothing serious now, but you may not be so lucky in the future. Well, that sounds good. That wasn't a terrible thing to do. Well, anyway, guys, that will wrap up this episode of DOS Time. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.